Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Annamalayai அடியேனை ஆண்ட அன்றே ஆவியுடல் கொண்டாயனக்கோர் குறையுண்டோ குறையும் குணமும் நீ அல்லால் என்னேனிவற்றை என் உயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காத பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காத பெருக்கே தருவாயே. Om Atimadura Chapahastam Aparimitam Modabhana Saubhagyam Arunam Atishaya Karunam Abhinava Kulasundarim Vande. Om Aim Hrim Shrim. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Now we shall chant the 50th verse. From 50th verse onwards we will chant. Shri Guru Ruvacha Dhanyosi Krita Krutyosi Pavitam Te Kulam Tvaya Yada Vidya Bandha Muktya Brahmi Bhavitumicchasi Rinamochana Kartaraha Pitus Santis Sutadayaha Bandhamochana Kartatu Swasmadanyona Kaschana Mastaganyasta Bhara Dehe Dukkam Anyai Nivaryate Kshudhadi Krita Dukkam Tu Vinasvena Nakenachit Patyamaushadha Sevacha Kriyate Yena Rogina Arogya Siddhir Drishtasya Nanyanushtita Karmana. See here, after praising the student, Dhanyosi Krita Krityosi, you are really blessed. And not only that, you are already fulfilled. And you have purified your whole clan after praising the student. Because now you want to get rid of this bondage and want to realize the Brahman, the absolute truth. How wonderful, you are a great student. Having praised the student, The next words, the Guru Maharaj, what is he saying? See, I may teach you, I would guide you, but you have to put in efforts. You have to walk the path. And you have to realize the self in your own heart. Don't expect the Guru to do some jadoo. Jadoo means some sort of a magic. No. See, this is the idea conveyed actually. See, though we are here for you, we will help you, but you have to do the heavy lifting actually. You have to die your own death. Nobody can die for you. Can anybody die for you? You have to die your own death. You have to live your own life and die your own death. So therefore, very clearly, kai kalivirla edutha munna kai kalivirla enna artham ketta, you have to do the work. Don't expect me to do for you. So it is very clear. If a father is in debt, then the sons can help to pay the debt back. But the bandhanam, nobody can help now. One has to get rid of it, oneself, and walk towards liberation. Similarly, if you are struggling to carry a burden on your head, somebody can help you to relieve your burden. But hunger and thirst, you have to eat, you have to drink. Nobody can eat for you. Yeah, you have to drink, you have to eat. Similarly, when you are ill, when you are not well, you have to take the medicine. If somebody else has taken the medicine, how will you be cured? So you have to take the medicine for your good health. So now there is something wrong with you. There is an ignorance. So you have to gain the knowledge. You have to see to know. Nobody else can see for you. See? You have to see. And the next verse also, another example is given. How the self-effort is important. Vastu Swarupam Sputabodha Chakshusha Svenaiva Vedyam Natu Panditena Chandra Swarupam Nija Chakshusheva Shushaiva Nyatavyamanyairavagamyate Kim Vastu Swarupam Sfutabodha Chakshusha Sfutabodha Chakshusha Svenaiva Vedyam Natu Panditena Chandra Swarupam Nija Chakshushaiva Nyatavyamanyair Avagamyate Kim Vastu Swarupam. To know the reality of the thing, meaning the absolute truth. Sputabodha Chakshusha Svena Eva. Svena Eva. Meaning what? With your own eye of knowledge, you have to see it clearly. Sputa means clearly. In your own heart, you have to see it clearly or realize it. Svena eva. Vedyam natu panditena. You cannot know the truth just by listening to some panditas. Howsoever they may explain beautifully the scriptures, still you have to see the light yourself. Then only it is yours. See, our Guru Maharaj may be a great one, a great realized master. He may be able to communicate beautifully. But if you don't see the light, then how can it help you? You understand? And he is giving a beautiful example. Let us say in the Paurnami Parva, The moon is shining in the sky beautifully. Cool rays of the moon. You are so thrilled. Suppose if you are blind, can you enjoy it? So here, Chandra Swarupam Nija Chakshusha Eva Jnatavyam. With your own eyes you have to see it to believe it. If you are inside your room browsing the net, how can you see the beauty of the moon? Howsoever you go into the net and watch some videos of moon shining, it is not at all equivalent to you watching the moon shining in its glory. Anyir avagamyate kim. If somebody else's have seen it and when they explain to you, can you get the same thrill and excitement of you watching the moon with your own eyes? You understand? See, it cannot be sort of compared at all. Is that not so? You yourself watch it alive. Live means watching it in real time. And somebody explaining to you, so beautiful. So what else you can say? Beautiful. Who you can say? But if you want to really enjoy it, you have to see it. So therefore there is no point in quoting scriptures left, right and center. Or that Mahatma has said that, this Mahatma has said this. In that Upanishad it is said that way. It's all fine. But have you seen it yourself? Have you realized it in your own heart? That is important. Then only it can help you. Otherwise not. Otherwise, the Pandityam will become a burden on your head. Our Acharya used to warn us, you should not carry the burden of knowledge. It should percolate into your heart and it should become one with you. It is not that you carry the burden of knowledge. So therefore, you have to see with your own eyes the Chandrama to appreciate its beauty. If somebody else sees it, it doesn't help you much. Similarly, with Nija Bodha Chakshusha, the eye of wisdom, you have to clearly see, what is that? Vastu Swarupam, the form of the true self. It is formless actually. Form means what? You have to apprehend the true self, yourself. Howsoever the Panditas explain, it will not make any difference. That is why all our masters, they push us to walk this path because it's so wonderful, so beautiful. Yam petra inbam perugayu vayagam. I have enjoyed it. My son, I want you also to enjoy it. Howsoever I explain to you, it will not make any difference. You have to enjoy yourself. That Ananda, which is Atmananda or Brahmananda, you have to experience yourself. That is what Guru, in the very first step, he is sort of warning him. Don't become a leech on me. Don't cling to me. After taking the guidance, you go and walk the path and you try to see the truth yourself. That can only help you. Right? Avidya kama karmadi pasha bandham vimochitum kashaknuyad vina atmanam kalpako. Okay. Kashaknuyad vinatmanam kalpakoti shatairapi avidya kama karmadi pasha bandham vimochitum kashaknuyad vinatmanam kalpakoti shatairapi. See, what is the real bandham, the bondage? Avidya, kama, karma, Adi Pasha Bandham. Bandha means you are tied by the rope. Pasha means rope. Yama comes with a pasha, na? Pasha kair desi, na? Meaning with a rope. So, this bandhanam has come to you because of your own avidya, ignorance of your true nature. Because you do not know your true nature to be Puranam, you feel you are limited, you are miserable entity, therefore you feel by acquiring and possessing, you become fulfilled. That is why desire for objects. Kama. From avidya comes kama. Suppose if you realize your true self has to be ananda, infinite, will you ever go after anything in this world? See, if you are served a feast, let us say, arusuvai unavu, wonderful feast, and then topped up with dessert, say 3 types of ice creams, this, that, everything, and you've eaten till here, and after that they say, Swamiji, one more samosa please. No, please. No, Swamiji, so tasty, please. No, I can't. No. Similarly, if you are full, brimming with joy, if somebody asks you to indulge in something, will you ever? No. So, kama means desire. And when the desires arise, then you cannot keep quiet. Then you are disturbed by thoughts and you have to get into action to acquire and possess, to indulge. So karma comes. So this is a chain, avidya, kama, karma. So with the sense of agency, doership and enjoyership, if you indulge, then it leaves vasanas behind. Then further the vasanas create more desires. The vasanas, they strengthen the ignorance and they create more desires and then more action. This is the vicious circle. Avidya, kama, karma. So this is the bandham, vimochitum, to come out of this bandhanam, to get rid of this or to break this vicious circle. Kaha shaknuyat vina atmanam. Who else can do it if not you? Vina atmanam. If not you, kaha shaknuyad. Who else can do this for you? Because it is your ignorance. See, sometimes, some children, they come and show you some picture, some art, let us say. On seeing the art, you may see something. That child may say, Swamiji, are you able to see something else? Please watch closely. Are you able to see something else? You will not be able to see at all. And tuck, it strikes. There is an old lady in that picture, Yaha pashyati, saha pashyati. Sometimes you may not be able to see at all. If you don't see, you don't see it at all. If you see it, you see it. Similarly, within your heart, if you experience that, you experience that. Otherwise, not. So who else can do it for you? So therefore, this avidya, kama, karma is troubling you. That is the bandham. So to get out of it, you have to put in efforts. And who else can do for you? Kalpakoti shatairapi. Even if you wait that Guru is going to do something for you, for kalpakoti, shatakalpakoti, if you wait also, nothing will happen. So therefore you have to put in efforts. You should try to see the truth yourself. And one more thing I tell you from my own experience. See, howsoever you study your scripture, howsoever the Guru gives you the Upadesha, you have to sincerely contemplate and you have to devise your own path. According to your temperament, according to your taste, according to your understanding, Everybody has got their own path. Meaning what? Some people will find the puja, parayana to be helpful. Some people will feel just to be in nature and to walk around, to be with oneself is more rewarding. Some people may find this Atma Vichara to be rewarding. Some people may find contemplation on these scriptures may be rewarding. It doesn't matter. Whatever suits you, you take it up sincerely. And even in Vichara also, in that technique also, there are some nuances. See, you find your own way actually. See, Bhagavan has said, keep the attention on the eye and find out from where the eye is rising. This is the basic, technique. But in that also, there are so much of nuances. Each one has to find his or her own way of how to go about it. That will come only with your experimentation and with your own insight. And the Lord guides from within, definitely. But there are so many things which you have to find out. That you find out only through experimentation. See, even in our families, the children are very smart regarding mobile and sort of repairing it or finding out something. We are not that smart. You know why? Because they go on, searching or sort of finding out, researching. Some nondite irupanga adu. Namakku bayam thodave maatom adu. No. If you go on experimenting with it, you will learn. That is how in this path also, though the Guru guides you, you have to go on experimenting on it. Certain things you learn yourself. You may find a new thing also. New thing is nothing new. I mean, a certain way of doing things. That may suit you. So that is your path. You understand? Therefore, nobody else can do for you. Kaha shaknuyad vina atmanam. Other than yourself, can anybody do this? To break this cycle, vicious circle, cycle of avidya, kama, karma, you have to do it by yourself. Some people start from karma. Okay, I will purify my heart by doing karma yoga. That is certain people's approach. Some people, they say, no, karma is okay, but kama I will attack. So, vairagyameva abhayam, I am not going to entertain any kama. Yeah, virakta purushas are there. And some they say, I want to go to the root, avidya. What is this avidya? What is the ignorance of the self? What is the self actually? What is the nature of the self? See? Anywhere you can start. But subtler you go, difficult it is, meaning very, very sukshmam it becomes. So you have to find your own path. There is no, fit in for all. There is no one path for all. Swami Vivekananda says, as many seekers, so many paths. So, kaha shaknuyad vina atmanam kalpakoti shatairapi. Kalpakoti shatairapi, 100 kodi kalpas, even if you struggle without putting forward effort or walking the path, you will not reach there or you will not realize the self. So you have to walk. Is it clear? Now moving on to the next idea. Knowledge of the self, its beauty. That is the 56th verse we will read now. Na yogena na sankyena karmana nona vidyaya brahmatmaikatva bodhena moksha siddhyati nanyatha. Shankara is very clear. He is not mincing his words. Na yogena na sankyena कर्मणा नोन विद्यया ब्रह्मात्मैकत्वबोधेन मोक्ष सिद्ध्यति नान्यथा न योगेन, not through yoga, na sankyena, not through Sankhya philosophy. We will see what it is. Karmana, no, means not through karma. Na vidyaya even, not just study of scriptures or learning. Brahmatmaikatva bodhena mokshaha siddhyati, only through the identity, realizing the identity between the Brahma and Atma. Brahma means that universal consciousness. Atma means this consciousness operating from this body mind. So only by realizing the oneness between these two, moksha is gained. Mokshaha siddhyati na anyata, not through any other means. Shankara is very clear. Not through any other means. Na Swamiji, ipadi sollittinga. Yes. Here, yogena means, Gurudev explains, yoga here denotes hatha yoga. Hatha yoga means, you know now, asana, pranayama and all, and other practices of hatha yoga. Through that, they are means, they are not the end by itself, by themselves. So not through yoga means hatha yoga. Na sankyena. See, that is a Sankhya philosophy. It is very beautiful actually, very closer. But still it is Dvaitik, they say. It talks about Prakriti and Purusha, matter and the spirit. Matter is inert, insentient. Purusha is sentient. And because of the grace, touch of Purusha, Prakriti is activated. But the idea is, if you are not influenced by the Prakriti, then you remain with Purusha. But that system, that school of thought says, there is one Purusha with each jiva. So there comes a duality. So howsoever you contemplate on those lines, still it is not. Sankyena. Na karmana. Here karma means Vedic rituals. You know, those days karma means only rituals. See, now also we do other karmas, but those days, if at all they said karma means what? Through the mimamsa, like, you know, the rituals and other things. No. Na vidyaya means, there are two meanings. Vidya means upasana also it means. Upasana, or some sort of meditation, upasana of the Lord. Here vidya means, howsoever you study scriptures, memorize, recall, lecture. Na pravachanena labhyaha, na medhaya. So, it is not. Na bahuna sutena, not hearing again and again also. Brahmatmaikatva bodhena mokshaha siddhyati. Only through the realizing the identity between the Brahma and Atma. The Aikya means identity. The truth is realized. See, this is what I want to tell you. See, suppose when you turn within and go deep and find out that you are the self, divine self, the divinity you are. But still if you see a world other than you and you think it is anatma or it is not divine, then the knowledge is very incomplete. If you really abide in the self, the vision would be not only me, but the whole world, everything is one, or everything is divine. Sarvam kaluvidam Brahma, it is said, na? So this is the real vision. See, that is why it is said, Brahma Atma Aikya Bodha. Otherwise, it is easy actually. See, if you go within and if you can remain quiet, fine. But when you open your eyes, when you see a world other than you, still disturbing you, And if you think world is something else, but I am divine, my God, this is a very, very half-baked knowledge. The real knowledge is not only Atma, me, I am divine, everything is divine. In fact, there is nothing which is inauspicious, not divine. This vision, I tell you, nowhere it is given this way. If you take Dvaitic religion, especially Christianity and Islam and other religion, Abrahamic religion, they say, no, the world is created for your enjoyment. See, that is their idea. The God has created you, and the world is created for your enjoyment. And if you conduct yourself properly, God is watching. He will reward you. Maybe you will go to heaven. If you do mischief, then you go to hell. That is all. So there is no vision that everything is God. No, there is no vision of like that, God is in the heavens. They keep God somewhere else separate. And you are a papi, sinner. And the world is for your enjoyment. Is this a vision? Is this a vision? So you eat, drink and make merry. The world is for enjoyment. But for us, no. We say Hari Om, Ram Ram. Why we say? You are also the same divinity only, I recognize that. As the Lord is residing in my heart, He is residing in your heart also. In all the beings' heart also He is residing. In fact, everything is the same Lord only. So this is the vision, supreme vision. This comes only through Brahma Atma Ikya Bodha. Only when you realize that that consciousness or that thing which is the substratum of the whole universe, that is dancing as I in the heart, as Atma the self. This realization should happen. That is why study of scripture. But through Guru's grace only, this will it will flash, that Aikya Bodha. Otherwise it will not. We may struggle in the seat of meditation. We may sort of experience some quietude. And we may experience some sort of joy also in the seat of meditation. Yes, our life becomes better definitely. No doubt about that. But the real fulfillment can come only when all the Veda Bhavana vanishes. All the Veda Bhavana vanishes and you realize the oneness. Then only there is true love. Otherwise, love is chumma, likes and dislikes. So therefore, Shankara again and again is emphasizing Brahma Atma Aikya Bodhena Moksha Siddhyati na anyata, not through any other means. I told you, one of my Guru Bhai asked me, okay, in Bhagavan's path, Twampada Nirnaya, the inquiry about the self is conducted. But where is the Tattpada Nirnaya? Where is the inquiry about the Brahman? And where is the identity between the Brahman and Atman established? He was asking me. I tried to explain to him saying that Bhagavan, in the very first step he says, if you give up the body identification, it is not the physical world, it is aham vritti and idam vritti. It is manomaya, it becomes. Meaning it's all just the field of thoughts only. And there, I thought is the central thought or adharam for all the other thoughts. And then the I thought also vanishes in the self. But if you truly conduct this inquiry and abide in the self, from there, when you see, you will experience the oneness. then it is complete. If you don't experience that oneness, there is something wrong with your approach or in your understanding, in the knowledge. See, there are different layers, even in the experience. Sometimes people get very excited by certain things on the way, and they get caught there only. They get stranded there. Some siddhis may come. Certain wonderful things can happen, but those are all not the final goal. Ahankara nashanam, destruction of ego, vasana kshayam. This is the final goal. And the final goal is experienced only if you see clearly that everything is one. Nothing is other than the self. So to sort of emphasize and to sort of educate us that this is the final goal, Bhagavan emphatically states, Brahmatmaikatva bodhena mokshaha siddhyati. Only through this vision of oneness, the moksha is attained. Na anyata, not through any other means. But people think it is blasphemous to say you and God are one. Don't say that. How can you say you and God are one? Or coach Kuparar. He may get angry with you. But Swami Kanna Kutiruvar. No. See, you need some daring to even think this way. Boldly proclaim, declare this way. Our masters were very great. Moving on. Aha. Vinaya Rupa Saundaryam Tantri Vadana Saushthavam Prajaranjana Matram Tat Na Samrajyaya Kalpate Vinaya Rupa Saundaryam Tantri Vadana Saushthavam Prajaranjana Matram Tat Na Samrajyaya Kalpate. Here Gurudev writes, using analogies, nobody has yet come to the field of philosophy who can rival Shankara's efficiency and perfection. Here he says, Vinaya Rupa Saundaryam. When you look at the veena, that stringed instrument veena, it looks so beautiful. Is it not very elegant? Among the instruments, veena is supposed to be very beautiful, even to look at. And Tantri Vadana Saushthavam. If one can play veena beautifully, that nadam, that is so wonderful to hear actually. And when one is expert at it, it is for what? Prajaranjana Matram. And people can really enjoy. Praja means the people. Ranjanam, they can really enjoy. But only that much. Prajaranjana Matram. Na Samrajyaya Kalpate. But it will not give you the sovereignty to rule the whole world. Suddenly, because you have played veena, you will not become a king. So yes, when you can really play veena, you can give so much of joy to people. True, people may enjoy it, but that will not confer sort of this rulership on you. Similarly, yes, studying philosophy, understanding, discussing, it is all wonderful. There is a kick in it actually. There is a kick in it. For intellectual people, when they see more light, that is, they enjoy, they are very happy about it. but that won't confer you the ultimate. So therefore, these are all means, but ultimately one has to experience that oneness in the heart, in the heart. So study of scriptures, philosophical discussion, and even other paths like Sankhya, Yoga, they are all means. They are helpful, but they may not give you the ultimate. Only through this Brahmatmaikya Bodha you can attain that moksha, moksha samrajya. See, that is why our masters, they warn us. See, nothing wrong in learning yogasana. It keeps you healthy. And pranayama is very good actually. Not only for health, but even to control the mind, pranayama is very good actually. But you know what? People get lost. Only yoga, yoga, pranayama, pranayama. And they propagate very, vigorously. You do only this, it is enough. See? And they get and they become yogacharyas. Wonderful, you becoming yogacharya, teaching yoga. But you stop there. And you get carried away. Okay, upasana is fine. But still, there is something more. So he says, according to traditional Vedantic thought, when you listen from the teacher, Shravanam, and then you independently contemplate, Mananam, and then when you live every moment in that understanding, trying to discriminate between the real and the unreal, and then you abide in your own self, that is Nididhyasanam, then only in due course, this Brahma Atma Aikya Bodha is realized. So not by any other means, especially even the intellectual people, they get lost in arguments, hair-splitting arguments, logic and reasoning, tarka. And this is called a Shastra Ishana. They go on reading different commentaries. Once it seems very interesting, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he asked, I suppose Vivekananda, one of his disciples, to read the Panchangam, it seems. Panchangam, almanac. So every New Year, Tamil New Year or our Hindu New Year, they read the Panchangam to find out how the year is. Generally, they are very, very inquisitive on this thing to know how the rains would be. Those days, everything is dependent on the agriculture. No? So how the rains would be. So that disciple read the Panchangam, it seems. A synopsis would be given in the beginning, it seems. Yeah, it is going to rain much, so much. It will be all subhiksham. Everything will be prosperous. All those things. Then Ramakrishna asked the disciple, now you squeeze this Panchangam. He was not knowing why he is asking. No, squeeze this Panchangam. Howsoever you squeeze the Panchangam, not a drop of water will come out of it. Right? So the Panchangam has got all the information about the rain and everything, but howsoever you squeeze, the water may not come out from the Panchangam. Similarly, all the books have got all the information about the self, Brahma, Atma, Aikya, Bodha. But how much soever you go on reading it, you will not come to the ultimate. You have to read the book here. This is the real book, the Atma, the self. Only by reading this book, the Atma, the self, you will realize the self. Not by reading any other book. See, by reading books, by understanding, you will become very proficient in giving lectures. You may be appreciated as a great teacher. Or you may have some followers. In next verse he is going to say beautifully, Bhuktaye natu muktaye. All these things are only for enjoyment, not for liberation. So you have to sit, turn within and dive deep and recognize this self as self of all. this self in me is the self of all. That is Brahmatmaikya Bodha. So this you can never recognize only by studying and arguing or giving lectures or writing books. So that is what is said here. Playing Veena, yeah, people may appreciate, people may enjoy, but it will not confer samrajyam on you. Similarly, the study of scripture, everything is helpful. Discussion also may help you to get more clear understanding. But they will not confer you the ultimate vision. For that, you have to really contemplate, meditate, and do the vichara and abide. All of our masters were very clear about this one idea. You have to have your own experience. Then only it is yours. My experience will not help you. However eloquent I may be, or however intelligent you may be to grasp, but that will not help you. Because this is not just intellectual understanding. This is losing one's own ego. That is something else. The very experiencer is questioned here. It is not about any experience. It is the very experiencer is questioned and found to be false. That is something else actually. Therefore, you have to walk the path according to the instructions and then realize this oneness. That alone can help, not anything else. Here, see. Vagvaikari Shabdajari Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushalam Vaidushyam Vidusham Tadvat Bhuktaye Natu Muktaye Vagvaikari Shabdajari Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushalam Vaidushyam Vidusham Tadvat Bhuktaye Natu Muktaye. See, these are all the important pointers which we have to remember always. Vagvaikari. Some people are very eloquent. When they speak, everybody is, stunned. Vagvaikari. Shabdajari. Play of words. In Tamil and all our great politicians, they are the Yadugai Monayoda Peswanga. Like, play of words. Shabdajari means what? Very, very wonderful to hear. Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushalam. Some people are very efficient, proficient in explaining in detail the nuances or the deeper imports of the scripture. Shastra Vyakhyana. Vyakhyana means what? In explaining, expounding. Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushalam. They are very experts. And Vaidushyam, erudition, meaning they can quote from any scripture. From Puranas, I really get wonderstruck when I find Adi Shankara quoting from Puranas, all Puranas, Upanishads, and Gita, this, that, everything. At the age of 15, 16, when he was writing Bhashya, how can he do this? If he is a ripe old, let us say 80 years, 80, then we can appreciate, he would have studied all those. At the age of 14, 15, he was writing the Bhashya and he was quoting everything. Erudition. Chumailed. Erudition means what? All scriptures he has mastered. All these things. Vidusham Tadvat, for this great scholar, it's all for Bhuktaye, Natu Muktaye. It is all for enjoyment, not for attaining liberation. See, he may get applause. People may really appreciate him. What a wonderful scholar. My God. What a teacher. My God. The way he explains is wonderful. People appreciate. And you may get more Guru Dakshina also. Maybe people are so inspired, they may give you extra, some more. And you may get some recognition. Some sort of pattam, perlang kadikalam. He is what? The chief among the exponent of Vedas. Something like that. You know, people are there to give you all these kinds of recognition. They may get it and they are very proud about it. The ego still becomes bigger. But here what? The ego should go. But with all these things, the way he walks, he talks, it becomes, you know. So, all the bhuktaye, in the material world, you may gain something wonderful. He is the authority, you know, on Vedanta. What a kick it gives, you know, if somebody says, he is authority on Vedanta. He is authority on Shankara. By heart, he knows all the bhashyam. You know, அப்படி ஒரு கிக் கொடுக்கும் அதெல்லாம். But bhuktaye means, yes, in the material world, it gives you everything. Natu muktaye, not for liberation. You are caught in still darker darkness. At least if you are illiterate, a lay person, you know that you are ignorant and you want to improve or you want to know the self. But when you have become a great guru, then nobody can help you. Means now you have an illusion of, you know, jnanam, knowledge. Then even Brahmaji cannot help you. You will not listen to anybody. Because I know everything. That is why this time our Acharya said, always remain as a seeker of truth. Don't ever become a guru. That is the way to destroy yourself. Meaning what? When we become guru, we stop learning. Because we know everything. And we don't want to reveal that we do not know. So you won't learn anything else from anybody or any scriptures or anywhere. So therefore, bhuktaye, all these things are for enjoyment, material prosperity in this world. Natu muktaye, not for the ultimate liberation. So that is why the real sincere seekers, they retire somewhere, they go unnoticed and they really go deep within themselves. And when the flower blossoms, the bees come in search of the honey, the nectar. The flower will not go trumpeting, hey, I have got honey, come, come, come. No. Just it blossoms and every bee comes around. So around the master, people throng, seeing his tejas, seeing his, you know, beauty. So that is how it is. So natu muktaye, muktaye, natu muktaye. Therefore, one should not try to project oneself as a great pandita or a great jnani and all. And you will be lost in that. And the next verse is a very peculiar verse. I don't know why Shankara has given this verse here, but very interesting. But avidnyate pare tatve shastra. After studying scriptures, after doing sadhana, whatever sadhana you are doing, still avidnyate pare tatve. If you don't know the higher, the real tattva, pare tatve, shastra ditistu nishpala. All the shastras are useless. Is that not so? Why there are shastras? To realize the self. So after studying, understanding, discussing, giving lectures, if you are not realize the self or the truth, then what is the use of all these shastras? Nishphala, meaningless, waste of time and energy. Vijñate api pare tattve shastraditistu nishpala. If you realize the self, realize the truth also, the Shastra becomes useless. Why? Afterwards, what is the use of Shastra? When you already realize the truth in your heart, then also Shastra is useless. It is not the Shastra is useless. He's not trying to establish Shastra is useless. No. He is trying to establish, even after studying so much, understanding, if you don't get that final, that Brahma Atma Ikya Bodha, then whatever studies, whatever contemplation you have done, all not fruitful. Nishphala. Therefore, your aim is to realize the self. Meaning, the self in me, self in all. This vision, that is the goal. The studies, contemplation and upasana and other things are means. But the goal is Brahma Atma Ikya Bodha. To emphasize that point, in a beautiful way he has made this shloka. The second line is what? If you really know the self, then you may not need any Shastras. The Mahatmas, when they realize the self, they become walking Upanishads. They become the real pramana for even Upanishads. So therefore, yena kena prakarena, you have to strive to know the self and abide in it. Know the pure self and abide in it. When you abide in it, from there, when you see the world, you will not perceive the world as Nama Rupa, other than you, separate from each other. Our Acharya, he used to beautifully say, the sense of otherness and the sense of separateness, that is an illusion. The sense of otherness means what? The world is something different from me. I am something different, the world is different. The sense of otherness, Anya Bhavam, that is the myth, that is the illusion. And separateness, meaning what? Everything in space and time, everything has got different name and form, so they are separate from each other. This is an illusion. The vision that everything is one, the self, that is the truth. So, till you reach this point, you should never stop. Otherwise, all this becomes useless. This struggle here, everything becomes useless. See, though it is said useless, it is not that useless, because the Lord is kind. Even it is said in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, suppose for some reason, if you have to shed this body even before realizing the self, the Lord is kind enough to give you another body, another opportunity. Maybe there you start very early. You will be born with Kamandalu. So, at the age of 5, 6, you will run away from your home. Maybe you don't know. Like Shankara, seeking this knowledge. So, nothing goes waste. In this path, nothing goes waste. But the beauty is, it has to be realized now and here. There is no beauty to realize somewhere else at some point of time. Because now and here is reality. Whenever you realize, you can realize it only now and here. See, these are all very pregnant statements, Whenever you realize the self, you can realize only now and here. Not elsewhere, not in the future. So, when you learn to live in now and here, there you are. Half the job is done. Even 70% of the job is done. And then to glide from the present to the presence is not that difficult actually. If it is about something else, it may be difficult. It is about our own self. How can it be difficult? See, when this pamphlet is here, I can see it clearly. If it is very far away also, I may not be able to see. But if it is here, can I read? That is the problem. The self is one with you. That is the problem. You want to see it as something else. That is a struggle. But if you just drop even the last effort to see or to know, there you are. அதை நம்ம விடவே மாட்டோம். Why? I have given up the whole world and everything only for this pursuit. How can I give this up? I want to know. You have to give up everything. Even the final thing you have to give it up. Sarva parityagam. That also. And I have given up everything in the world. I have given up everything in the spiritual pursuit also. And I am nowhere, hanging in the midair, nowhere. Then it happens. So, இது ரொம்ப அப்படிப்பட்ட விஷயம் இல்லை. Complete Atma Samarpanam. Complete. Then only it happens now. So therefore everything has to be given up. Even the idea to know the self also has to be given up. Because the self is not two. One to know and another to be known. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says. Why you can't know the self? Because there are no two selves. One to know, another to be known. It is only one. Therefore, who will know, who will be known, which will be known? So, it is of the nature of knowledge. So, there is no doubt when you abide in it. See, this much you understand. There is no doubt when you abide in it. But you cannot know it. How? That is how it is. Because it is of the nature of the knowledge. Nature of pure knowledge. Therefore, being is knowing here. Just to be is to know. Arunachal Tattvam has come into existence only to teach us that you cannot know the truth. Brahma and Vishnu failed in their pursuit of knowing the Adi or Mudi, the beginning or the end. And how can you as a Alpa Jiva know it? So our Acharya says, don't try to understand. Stand under. Stand under. மதிக்கு ஒளி தந்து மதிக்குள் ஒளிரும் மதியினை உள்ளே மடக்கி பதியில் பதித்திடுதல் அன்றி பதியை மதியால் மதித்திடுதல் எங்கன் மதி. This is Bhagavan's Ulladinarpad. The most beautiful words. I really enjoy this verse. If you know Tamil and if you can understand the concept, Bhagavan is, what, super human being or super, I don't know. Madikku oli thandu. Madi means buddhi. Oli thandu means illumines the buddhi. Madikkul olirum. It is available, it shines in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Madikkul olirum. It shines in the intellect or in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. What we need to do? Of the Madinai ulle madakki. You have to turn that rays of the intelligence peeping out of your senses and mind, you have to turn within. Padiyil padithidudal. Padi means that Lord or the self. Padithidudal. You should try to keep it firm or abide. Padithidudal andri. Without doing that, Padiyai, that self. Padi means the Lord or the self. Madiyal, with brain, with the intellect. Madithidudal engan. How will you know? Or how will you measure? Madi, think. See, this Madi has got so many meanings. One is buddhi also. One is to measure. And one is to think. Madiyai, padiyil padithidudal andri. Only you can place the buddhi firmly on the padi. Padi means the self. Not doing that, padiyai madiyal madithidudal engan. How are you going to measure that self or that Lord using your brain or the intellect? It cannot happen. It will not be possible. Madi, please understand. I tell you. So therefore, this is the ultimate wisdom. In the Parpalange Vehad, you cannot know the truth. Sorry. What, Swamiji? We are very intelligent people. We thought we can understand and know, that's why we are here. Sorry. You have to give up your buddhi, the arrogance that you are very intelligent, you can know everything. That arrogance has to be dropped. That is surrender. You cannot know. See, our physics teacher was a great devotee of Shivanandaji Maharaj. He explained to me very simply. I am really convinced about this. He said, all equipments have got something called as LC, least count, they say. It's a technical term. Least count means what? Only that accurately you can measure and not beyond that. For example, if you have a ruler, if he has got millimeters, let us say, 0.5 millimeter you cannot measure with that. That is the limitation of that instrument. So every instrument has got least count, meaning beyond which you cannot measure, right? So every equipment is coming with the limitation, or we can say faulty in Solavanda, with a limitation, let us say. Similarly, whatever instruments we are using to know the absolute, that is the eyes, the senses, or the mind, they are all the instruments. Buddhi, they all have inherent limitations. With the limited, you cannot know the unlimited. Full stop. You have to drop all the limited equipment. Then the unlimited reveals itself, meaning it is of the nature of knowledge. Therefore, you need not know it. So all the limited equipments have to be dropped. The buddhi is the last thing we will accept to drop. Because we have been taught to use your buddhi, use your intellect, question, ask. That is important, that is good. But there it will not help. So to cross the final frontier, you have to drop all the weapons or all the equipments you have to drop. And raised hands, you have to go like Draupadi. Anyata sharanam nasti, tvameva sharanam mama, tasmat karunya bhavena, raksha raksha parameshwara. You have to become totally nanga, naked, totally naked. Then only you get entry into the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God. Meaning what? All these, everything, all the koshas have to be dropped. All the limited equipment has to be dropped. So here it is only dropping everything. And you don't gain anything new because already you are that. It is not that you are going to gain something new. Already you are that and you rediscover that. So in this process, study of scriptures may help, but sincerely you have to sit and inquire. Or the Atma, Anatma, Viveka, or Atma Vichara, whichever you feel is wonderful or for you, you have to take that up and abide in the self. That is very important. And here, Shabdajalam Maharanyam, Chitta Brahmana Karanam, Ataprayatnat Jnatavyam, Tattvajnai Tattvamatmanaha, Shabdajalam Maharanyam, Chitta Brahmana Karanam, Ataprayatnat Jnatavyam, Tattvajnai Tattvamatmanaha. This Shabda Jalam, the play of words, Jalam, the magical play of words. This is like a dense forest. Maha Aranyam. Aranyam is a jungle. Why it is compared to jungle? Because you can get lost easily. If you don't have a proper guide, you can get lost. So the Shabda Jala means what? There are so many schools of thoughts. See, the Vedas are one. This is Rig Veda, Sama, Yajur, Adarvana Veda. Nobody questions that, Thankfully, our Sanatana Dharma people who have got faith in Vedas, they don't question Vedas. But how they interpret it. If you go to Adi Shankara, he interprets it in one way. Shvetaketo Tattvamasi. He says Tattvamasi has been emphasized. So you are that. If you go to Ramanujacharya or Madhvacharya, whoever, they say no, there is one A which is very hidden. A Tattvamasi, you are not that. That is what is said there. Hare Rama. The Sanskrit is such a language, you can just split it in any way and understand. Appadiye opposite meaning. He said, you are not that. My God, it's blasphemy if you say that you are that. Understand. So they write. They are also great intellectuals. See, don't underestimate Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya and all. They are very great intellectuals. No doubt about that. See, that is the glory of this Bharata Desha. All the Acharyas are great. See, actually, whatever they are talking also is truth only. I would not say it is an untruth. For different audience, for different students in different levels, different guidance is required. Everybody cannot digest this, this kind of a truth. So slowly they lift them in different way actually. If you follow that very sincerely, yes, you will reach the final goal. No doubt about that. I have one faith. Sri Krishna says, don't worry about anything. You surrender unto me. I will give you this. I will sort of relieve you from all bondages, all sins, he says. Let us say, even the devotees, or even what? The devotees, or the people who believe in Dvaita also, sincerely if they worship God, they surrender themselves unto the God himself has assured, means Lord Krishna has assured, you surrender unto me, I will take care. I will relieve you from all bondages. So they also will be relieved. That is the ultimate, See, whatever philosophy you follow, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the goal is, if the experience is true, it is one only. And God says, I will look into it, I will take care of you. Your yoga kshema vahamyaham. Don't worry, he says. So therefore, whichever path our Guru shows, if we walk sincerely, we will reach the goal only. Without understanding this, when we fight indefinitely, like eternally when we fight, we reach nowhere. This is what the Panditas do. Even half-baked sadhakas, what they do, they try to establish their philosophy is right and all other philosophies are wrong. Their guru is great, all other gurus are, little lesser. This is how they fight. Shabda Jalam Maharanyam. If you are very intelligent, if you are eloquent, you can really smash everybody else's argument. See, if Shankara has done means he has come for some different purpose. Don't compare yourself with Shankara or anybody. As a seeker, you have to be humble. It is not your business to waste your time in Shabda Jalam, in sort of trying to establish something, to argue and defeat somebody. That is none of it, because we don't have time for all those things. Shankara, when he was 8, he knows everything. Therefore, he has got time to argue and establish whatever he wanted. But we don't have any time. I tell you. And we are very, very mandabuddhi. So we have to work hard. With less time, we have to work hard. So don't lose yourself in intellectual gymnastics. Let all the scholars take care of that. நம்ம என்ன செய்யணும்? வந்த வேலையை கவனி. We have to attend to that job for what we have come here. That is to realize the self and get out of here. So for that, too much of study of scriptures, different philosophies, different schools of thoughts with different commentaries is not required. And Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is very clear about it in Ulladu Narpadu Anubandham and all. He is very clear about it. By studies, by sort of studying too many books, the mind only will expand, it will not subside, he says. Only through vichara it subsides in the heart. By studies and by understanding and discussion, it expands. And there is no end to it. So, Shabdajalam Maharanyam. Chitta Brahmana Karanam. Brahmana means what? You will be really deluded. Brahmana. Brahma means what? You will be overwhelmed and deluded. Brahmana Karanam. Then you may not understand what is what. See, this happened to me. In the ashram, we studied a lot of scriptures, Upanishads and all, different Upanishads. And then Gita, and then Panchadashi also, our Acharya took. So many things. Then finally Brahma Sutram and all. And we were overwhelmed. Rama, this Mahatma is saying this way, that Upanishad is explained that way, what is truth, what is wrong. And then other brahmacharis, other friends also, they talk about J. Krishnamurti, Osho, this, that, everybody. Hey Rama, information overload. So you don't know what is what. Then I had gone to Sri Lanka, they posted me there. There was one great saint living there, it seems, Yoga Swamigal. One devotee gave me a book written by Yoga Swami, poems, collection of poems written by Yoga Swami. There he has mentioned once, Sathirape Tazhuvi Kollade, Chinna Tangam. What is that? Something like that. Monathil Sukithiradi or something like that. The meaning is, don't embrace the ghost of Shastras. Shastra pay means ghost or what, goblin, whatever you call. Don't embrace. He says, you try to remain in silence. Sukithiradi. Meaning what? You be there in silence. That alone can help you. Not this Satira pay. Pay na tinna ungalku. Pay pisach we say na. So that will never help you either. I said, thank God. Appa. No need. And he said, Puttakathai moodivai. One of his instructions. Close your book. That is his instruction. One of his instructions is Puttakathai moodivai. When you are reading his Puttakam, what is the Guru's instruction? Puttakathai moodivai. Then what we have to do? Yata ukta karini. That we have to do. I tell you, so much of relief when somebody tells you, it will not help. Don't worry. Just drop it. Because it's beyond thoughts. So, only in silence. Maunam vyakya prakatita para brahma tattvam yuvanam. Only through silence it is gained. Not through words. Not through ideas and concepts. However, it will help. Like, Gurudev says pole vault. The example of pole vault. So, the pole is required to gain height. But along with the pole, you cannot cross over. You have to drop the pole and cross. So, these study of scriptures, understanding really helps. Otherwise, you won't need the height. To gain the height, it helps. But if you have to cross over to the other shore, then you have to drop. So, this is what we should know. When to use the pole and when to drop it. If you don't use the pole at all, you cannot go high. You will go under the obstacle. You will just run under. Or if you are not willing to drop the pole, you cannot cross over. You will hit that stick or whatever. A bar, correct, bar. And you are gone, out. So therefore, here, Shabdajalam Maharanyam Chitta Brahmana Karanam. Therefore, Atha Prayatnat Nyatavyam, put forward efforts to know that. Tattvajnyahi means what? Here, if you want to really know the truth, put for effort to know that. Tattvam Atmanaha. So this Atmanaha, this real self, you have to put in effort to know it, not just to study, understand, discuss. Nowadays, it becomes a sort of a fashion. If in a party, if you can quote Gita, then people say, oh, he's very intelligent, huh? He has studied even Gita, Bhagavad Gita and all. Oh. And if you quote Upanishads, Isha Vasimidam, oh, he has studied Upanishads and all. Dharavaliye, he's somewhere. But how does it help you? He remains the same Buddha only. So therefore, Shabdajalam Maharanyam Chitta Brahmana Karanam. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.